Hi, I'm Brian Clabby, the voice of Oshawa, and in this segment I'd like to discuss with you an issue that has come up numerous times throughout this campaign. And that issue, unfortunately, is student housing. Now, student housing as being a major thorn in the side of this previous council. Why? Because they had no planning. They opened up their doors and our city to the UOIT, to the university, and to the college, which is great, but there was no planning for the students. And, quite honestly, actually, it isn't the city's job to do that planning. Let's be honest about it, people. I know I'll get shot down for this, but it really wasn't the city's responsibility to do the planning for housing for students. But it is an issue. Okay? The issue, unfortunately, should be going back to where the origin lies. Okay? Really, it's the university and the college that had the responsibility to ensure adequate housing for the students. Students are paying high enough in tuition fees and other fees that they shouldn't have to be worrying about housing. And I feel for them in that regards. I had gone back to university as an adult, and I had to provide for my family. So I know how difficult it can be. But, as I have said, okay, the fault is not on the part of the city. The fault is and was on the part of the university and the college for not planning the adequately for student housing. However, that being said, we have accepted the UOIT and Durham College into our city wholeheartedly. We have many things that we expect from the university and college, and we've got a lot of work to do. Now, what I would propose is that we will work with the university and the college to accommodate students as best as we can. However, I do have one concern, a major concern, and that is that I'm finding a lack of, how shall I describe it? A lack of social integrity on the part of some of the students. Not all the students, but on some of the students. Okay, where people are saying that this is the only issue. Unfortunately, here in Oshawa and Durham region, okay, we have a housing crisis. It hasn't been brought up with most of my fellow candidates, and especially not by any members of the city council who are going up for re-election. They won't touch the subject with a 10-foot pole. Sorry, a 3-meter pole. Same difference. Okay? What we have to do is, yes, we have a student housing crisis, but we also have a housing crisis for other citizens here in Oshawa. A great many citizens here in Oshawa. Okay? According to the government, we shouldn't be paying more than 38% of our net gross income on housing. But we have people who are paying as much as 80 or 90% of their income to get housing because there's no affordable housing out there. This should be of major concern to university and college students. Where is the social integrity of some of these students? Really? Okay? We have to, as a government, I have to look at providing for our less fortunate. And I am going to be doing that. What I'm going to suggest to help with the student housing situation, okay, is that the university, college, and private industry, and the city, and Durham region get together and work out a plan. Okay? But this plan will not be exclusively student housing. Any plan that I will support has to include low income, geared to income housing. Okay? There's no sense in me supporting student housing if I'm not going to support the housing for the young families living here in Oshawa and trying to make their living here. So, if you want my support on student housing, then we have to look at not just student housing, but all housing for low-income people. Okay? There's a lot of young families here in Oshawa that need help in finding affordable housing. Not only students. A lot of people. And the thing is, okay, we talk about trying to break the cycle of poverty. Unfortunately, too many people just use it as talk. If we're going to break the cycle of poverty, we need education. The poor have to be educated. In order to do that, they need to have access to affordable housing, the same as students do. Plus, if we put young families in with the students, then the young families will see how going to college, going to university, even part-time, is going to help them get out of the cycle of poverty. And if we help them out of this cycle of poverty, we are doing the right thing. Okay? So, what I'm going to suggest is that what we do is we make a percentage of our new housing here in Oshawa has to be, okay, a portion of it has to be for students, and a portion of it has to be for low-income, rent-geared to income housing. Okay? Minimum of 30% either side. Okay? And that's where I stand on the student housing issue. The housing issue is a concern, but we all need affordable housing. Thank you. Brian Clabby, candidate for City Regional Council and the voice